What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. I hope you're all doing very well this evening. It is another magnificent Monday. And I also want to shout out to y'all. I want to say thank you all for being a part of the den. You know, I think you're all great people for the most part. Some of y'all a little weird, but for the most part, y'all pretty cool. But no, seriously, man, tonight in the den, if you're not familiar with the den is the best conversation on the internet. Excuse me. And again, I am your host, Ed Honcho. And I want to thank everybody who joined. So shout out to the denizens, the friends of the den folk, the den generates. And look, I'll be getting a little bit of buffer in action, so hopefully that'll get right. Oh, I know that probably ain't helping. And tonight, man, in the den, we're going to talk about dealing with death. Okay? And I don't want to be morbid. I don't want to be depressing. I want to try to maybe make it as positive as possible. I don't know if that's a thing. But we're going to talk about it. You know, it's something that death is a part of life. I think it's what makes life valuable. If you live forever, you wouldn't really give a shit, right? It wouldn't be as motivational. It wouldn't be as intriguing if you know you had all the time in the world. Steve said, "Sound like I'm in a hall. Sound like I'm far away." Let's see what we got going on here. Let me see. But again, it might be just the sound of the garage. So, all right. Hold on. Okay. So the sound is distorted. Let me see what we got going on here. Give me a second. Let's see. I still sound a little far off. I guess I should listen in on the other end. Okay, let me see. See if we can turn some of this down. What we got going here? If I turn that down a little bit, and let me know how we look, how we sound now. Try to turn this down some here. I'll be honest, I just be turning knobs. I don't know what the fuck they do. I don't know what I'm doing with them. I just tweak shit until it sounds like it's I just tweak it until it sounds like it's doing something. All right, cool, appreciate it. So tonight, man, we're gonna talk about death, and hopefully can try to make it a positive conversation. Because death is something that everybody has to deal with. I mean, it's just a part of life. Again, as I was saying, you know, if you live forever, then, you know, life, would you value life as much? It's unfortunate that some of us get less time than others. Some of us get more time, and some of us deal with the suffering in that time. But before we get into the conversation, let's see which friends of the den are joining us this evening. Excuse me, and then we'll get into it. Keisha R. Craig Baker, what's the motherfucking deal? 335, holding it down. Roman Kemp, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see, Jackson. Stina Starry, always good to see you. Stina Starry, I came through the sauce today, showing love. That's what I'm saying. She ain't even a sports fan. That's real right there. V Darko, what's the motherfucking deal? Look, I'm trying to line you up a retirement home gig as we speak. You know. Cassie Cage, what's the motherfucking deal? Heidi, the not so championship tiger. Shonda Tony, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Jess Sarah, what's the motherfucking deal? Always good to see. Always glad when you can join us. Jared Key, what's the motherfucking deal? Yeah, we're gonna make it shake. It's definitely we're gonna make it shake. Lady Licious, what's the motherfucking deal? Culture Anubis, what's the motherfucking deal? And Jaja Era, what's going down? What's the motherfucking deal? Let me make sure I ain't miss nobody. If I missed you, I didn't intend to dish you. Let's get into the conversation. You're probably thinking, oh, Honcho, why are you talking about death today? You already been talking about the fucking Texans losing everybody. Why are you talking about death? Why so morbid? Well, I mentioned to some of y'all, and again, like I say, today is 21 years since my sister passed away. I was 13 years old. I want to say, 7th grade? Somewhere 7th grade in that area, I think so. And it has had a notable impact on my life. I thought about it. And I was just like, I had to deal with it. It was rough. But I really thought about it. And I thought about things that I was into, things that I started finding interest in. And, I tried to see if there was a connection. And some of it there was. And, I started thinking about the impact that death has upon us. I've shared stories with y'all in the den, again, especially when it was a Kush den, of friends I've lost, of, lovers I've lost, and things like that. And it's tough, man, and it never gets easier. Everybody has a certain meaning in your life. Everybody has a certain value that they have brought into your life. And, you hate to lose that. You hate, and it's almost selfish maybe, I don't know. And some people have a connection to celebrities that have had a meaningful impact into their lives and they've lost. I think about grandparents, I think about friends and a lot of different things. And so I wanted to talk about maybe, it could be a conversation that could help others who may be going through some things or who have yet to deal with it, to know how to deal with it, because it's tough. You're not the only person in the world, and it's not to be dismissive of your own personal experience, but you have to understand, it won't be the first, and hopefully, it would be the last, but more than likely it won't be. Death is a common part of life. People die every day, planned, unplanned, willingly. Some people take their own lives. And I think dealing with all these things, it makes it more difficult. I think suicide, when people commit suicide, especially when it's unexpected, I think that's one of the toughest ones to deal with. I think when it's somebody and you kind of have a heads up that something is happening. I'm not saying it makes it any easier because you have to deal with the ultimate day, but the time that you get to enjoy, you can place more value on that. But when it happens unexpectedly and you just expect, you take things for granted and it just gets snatched from you, I think that's the toughest. I think that's the toughest thing. So what we got? You say death gets a bad rep as attachment to people and things, and I agree. So you said losing your daddy was hard. I can understand that. Lincoln was the real racist. Stop. He was a good man. But and here's the thing. But again, we all have to deal with it. And I think that I agree the attachment to things, but I think that's been part of the reason I've been able to not be so attached to materialistic shit. I value the people that I get close to. I don't get close to a lot of people. I mean, just being honest. Why are you mad at me? What did I do? I don't get close to a lot of people. And that's being honest. Like people say, oh man, you got a way with people. You have a way with folks, when you talk to people on the calls and on the streams and things. And again, like I said, I think this is something that's relatively newly developed. I haven't always been this way. Man, most of my life I've been quite standoffish, and I think I have my reasons. And part of this might have been, not having that connection, especially in those teenage years when you. Still looking like it's kind of tripping on some weird shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like it's really on some other shit. Hold on. Let me see what's going on. I don't know why this shit is acting fucking super retarded right now. I don't know what is going on. It's like it's really, really on some janky shit. Give me a second. Let me try to do some freaking and tweaking. All right, I think we'll be all right for probably the next 10 seconds. It'll fuck up again. But again, like I said, losing people is hard, and so you got to figure out how you deal with that. And like I say, even today, 21 years later, I still think about it. I mean, sister was a close part of my life. She was a much better person than I am. That I can attest to. And you wonder sometimes, she passed at the age of 24. And I used to think about that when I turned 24. I lost my best friend at the age of 24 too. And I used to think about that, man, how do I get past it? These are people who are much better than me, you know, and, you know, made me question a lot of things. But you don't get to decide. You don't get to pick and choose. I'm sure if people had a choice, they would never let go. Or I guess some people do have a choice and they do choose to let go. But the deal will be moving to the living room next week. Look, I don't know, man. I guess it might be. I don't know what's happening. Some tribes get over by eating the body. That's terrible. I don't want nothing to do with that. But, you know, let me see where y'all at. Xfinity with the, I don't know. It might be a little bit of both because Xfinity, the signal's looking weak, but I switched signals, so hopefully this one is better. But again, you know, dealing with it. We all have helped. Well, I think all of us have had to deal with it at some point. And that's why I say I'm big on when you do get close to people, or if you do have that connection with people, you know, get close to people, you value it. And I was saying before I cut off I was just saying that I value my experiences with people highly because I don't get super close to folks. And when I do, you know, I appreciate them. And, you know, it's a tough thing, man. And so maybe sometimes I take it tougher than others. And I guess I can't say I take anything tough because I don't know how much of a loss hurts other people. But what I want to talk about is dealing with it tonight. And I want, you know, you express, you know, how you deal with it, how you've dealt with some of these experiences that you've had. I remember my sister when my first tattoo is actually my sister's name. I don't think that helped anything. You know, RIP tattoos don't necessarily help with the pain, but I guess it's the semblance of remembrance or something. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of element there. Maybe I guess, you know, the pain is a therapeutic. I always say when it comes to tattoos and stuff. Maybe that helps in that sense. I don't know, but yes, yeah, you're definitely refreshed if you need to. My fault. I should have said that or typed that. But so that's what we're gonna do, man. I ain't gonna talk too much shit. And we'll open it up, and y'all know how we doing it. Then when we get too depressing, we'll start talking about something else. That's just kind of how we. That's how we do it. So, you know, I'm gonna open up the Denline here just a second. Give me 1 second before I open it up, and you know, we'll get some calls in. But give me just 1 second. I'm gonna try to see if I can edit this so that the fucking maybe it'll look a little bit better. Give me just a second to see what's going on here. You only get one intro, goddammit. No two intro streams. It's none of those shenanigans. Give me a second. I'm booting up. I'm booting up the Denline right now as we speak. But, you know, I get into the conversation. Sometimes I forget. Make sure you're following the Den on all of the proper social medias. And I'm back. Facebook.com/Den Show Live. Twitter and Instagram, same name, different platforms at Den Show Live. I got to make a confession to you guys, okay? I got to make a small confession. It's Confession Monday. While I was adjusting the stream and checking the settings, I got to make a small confession. I ate a rib, so it probably shouldn't have taken me that long, but I had to eat the rib. Been goddamn streaming almost on and off since 5 today, so had to grab some grub, so I had to eat the fucking rib. So it took me just about a minute longer than it should have. But I got to be honest. I got to figure out too, why is this not showing up? Oh, let's try this. Maybe this is the case. I don't know why, because usually it shows up whenever someone shows love. So I'll figure that out here in just a second. Let me get the line open so you guys can call in. If you ever want to call into the Den, anytime, even if we're not live, 833-284-3336. 833, the number 2, the Den is the number if you ever want to call in, leave a voicemail, text. You can also text the line if you want to leave some constructive criticism, opinion, suggestion for a topic is always greatly appreciated. The Den Show Live, denshowlive@gmail.com is the way you can send an email if you have any ideas, thoughts, input. And if you want to tell your friends about the Den, tell them to go to thedenshow.com to check out the channel. If you want to tell them how to catch it live, go to thedenshow.com. I'm going to learn how to speak today because I got stuff on mine. Denshow.com/live. If they want to catch a live stream, it'll take them directly to the live stream page. And also, if you use that, even when, you know, because we're going to go live at 10 every night, even if I haven't put the stuff up, if you use that to go to the live stream page, I mean, usually I have the chat open before the thing. So if you do that, like at any time, it'll take you to the live stream. So the chat is like always accessible. Just a little tip, you know, just a tip. You know, that's how you started off, just a tip. And if you want to support the Den, like the lovely Miss Just Sarah, you can donate here, streamlabs.com/the Den Show. And all the love is appreciated. But while we're doing that, let me find out why it's not showing up, because usually it shows up whenever someone does. So I may have to, let me check these settings and things. But while we get all that figured out, let's get some calls in here. I want to know how you guys have dealt, you know, deal with death, honor your loved ones, you know, whatever the conversation may be. And if you got other stuff on your mind, you know, this is the Den, you know, feel free to call in and, you know, speak about whatever you feel like, you know, asking about. Except sports, because we don't talk sports in the Den. Say that for the sauce. So, again, I'll be looking forward to your calls. But as soon as I say that, all right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling into the Den this evening? Hello, hello. Okay. I don't know what happened. They called in and they hung up. I don't know if it was on my end or let me cut this out for you. I hear that ring and be talking about, goddamn, my ears, Honcho. Excuse me. Again. So let's see. Some friends are like family members. Yeah, absolutely. Beef ribs don't got no meat. Yeah, damn, that dirty damn Badger. I ain't mad at him. No. Oh, you're trying to be anonymous. Oh man, come on. You ain't anonymous. They heard about a voice. You ain't anonymous. If you want to be completely anonymous, you have to text in, because I think the Den is very familiar with voices at this point in time. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the Den this evening? Hello?
Oh, what's up? You didn't say,
Oh, so okay. I said that.
What's the motherfucking deal? I ain't hear none of that. I was like, hello.
Okay. That's why I've been trying to delay it a little bit. Okay, so my fault. So who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Okay, it's lady.
Okay.
Just wanted to say, I like how you pointed me out yesterday. When I was trying to be anonymous and shit.
You can't be
you
anonymous.
You talking about, lady.
Yeah, look, your voice is look that you have a distinct voice. When you call in, we already know what it is. You can't hide from us no more.
That's all I was trying to whisper and shit. Do you see? You just gonna throw me under the bus.
What you think this is? Yin Yang twins? What do you think this is? You're trying to whisper and shit. That ain't gonna work.
Hey. Oh my God, man, I was so mad I missed it because I was like, damn, man, yesterday, you ain't had too many callers yesterday. It's crazy. It's like 30-something people in the room.
They ain't want to call
You only had like 5 callers, huh?
Yeah, they was afraid to call in. V Darko had to set the bar yesterday. They ain't want no action after that.
Dang. Yeah, I know. I heard your little mishaps. Well, not mishaps, but, confession. Damn, that shit got me thinking because I was like, ooh, because I was late. By the time I seen it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, damn, everybody gone. Just turned it off. And I was going to call in and do a confession. And I was like, damn, which one am I going to say? What was I going to bring up? And the more that I thought about it, I was like, God damn, I was terrible. I was a terrible ass person. Like, I didn't really think so. I used to think, I was the sweetest person, but I was like a wife's fucking worst nightmare as a babysitter. Like, that shit's crazy. Really made me reflect on myself with these confessions. Like, shit, that's bad. I told you I was a slut bucket. I'm talking about, man, the married men. That's why I really, it's sad. Look. And what makes it so bad, we sitting over here down in R. Kelly and shit like that. And I'm talking about, like I said, the more I thought about it, I'm like, I was only like 15, 16, or 17. Babysitting and these married men messing with me. And it was like a lot more guys, that like younger females, than I actually thought about until I thought about all the stupid shit that I did. And it's like, that's crazy.
So I have a question though. At that age, would you say you were willing or that you were coaxed into?
Oh yeah, I was. I felt bad, but then again, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, they was, they was just really fine. And it was like, with me being that age, I felt like, oh, wow, I must be something special because they looking at me. You know what I'm saying? They got all these, fine older women, or around that age. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you pick me? But like I said, when you're younger, you don't really think right. And I mean, I guess that's all I can say. I mean, I thought some stupid ass shit, like, for real. Like, that is so crazy now that I think about it, like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, damn. Cause, like, okay, for instance, one of my confessions was going to be, that there's this one, couple that I babysat for. I was fucking the husband, and on New Year's, they went out, I was babysitting, kids sleep or whatever, and somebody else's husband came and, to spend time with me or whatever. It was like, that shit was crazy. So when they came home, they came home a little bit earlier than expected, and of course I had all the doors locked and shit like that, and they were knocking on the doors. I'm sitting over here pretending like I'm in the motherfucking using the bathroom and shit like that, after the motherfucker done dipped out the back door. So I was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, Number 2, I'm sorry it took so long for me to open the door, like, gave that whole bullshit. He knew I was lying, but it wasn't really too much that he was going to say because he was fucking me too, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't like he was mad, you know. It ain't really, like I said, it ain't too much you can say. You know, you deceiving and damn, you messing with a young girl. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like I'm telling you, and I grew up on post. You know what I'm saying? Because my daddy was military, so it's just crazy how many of these damn adults used to try me. Like, I wouldn't say I had sex with everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I was a little slut bucket, but I ain't had sex with all of them. But it's really thinking back on that shit, it's like, damn, a lot of these motherfuckers really did, though. And that's crazy. Like, you really don't know what type of neighbor you got. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how anybody really is until, you know, somebody exposed their ass. And it's a lot more than people think it is. You know, it ain't just R. Kelly or some of these pedophiles that get caught up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more. And that shit's crazy. That shit scares me because I don't want my daughter to do the same shit, you know. But anywho, but yeah, that's crazy. But as far as, you know, dealing with death, what we on the subject, not unless you had another question.
No, so can you really feel bad about it? Or, I mean, you just kind of have to acknowledge who you were at that time and you've grown and made progress since. I mean, well, unless you haven't made progress and you're still fucking other people's husbands. But have you grown and made progress since then? Do you look back on that as a learning experience, or do you just kind of say, it was what it was? Or how do you feel about that?
Man, well, ain't no choice, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, or was, you know, because I can't change, you know, what I did. So, but at the same time, yeah, I regret a lot of that shit because, you know what I'm saying, I'm married now, I got kids now, you know, and thinking about how I was and how these married men were, you know what I'm saying, really got me thinking, like, damn, I would have had a killer bitch. You know, I can't have no damn babysitter because I don't trust these motherfuckers. If I catch one that was like my ass. But no, I was a terrible ass person. Like, that is so bad. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't even look at it like that, you know, and even the excuses that I try to make now, because I don't like, you know what I'm saying, I don't see myself as a bad person, really. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm actually a pretty good person. You know, I try to help people. I listen to people. You know, if you're my friend or whatever, like, I'm, you know, 100% there. You know, but I do some fuck shit. Like, that's crazy. It really make you think about yourself, though, growing up. But, I mean, I can't say I'm proud of myself for that. You know, I do feel bad, but it ain't something that I'm doing now, you know what I'm saying, even though, well, he wasn't married. He just had a girlfriend. You know, it's like a mutual thing, you know. I got my man, he got his girl, you know, just every once in a while it was a yay, you know, thing.
Yeah,
but
okay.
That's bad. Oh, my God. But
anyway. Okay. So what are your thoughts on death?
What's my thoughts on that one?
Yeah, you said, you know, you had something that you were speaking on death.
Oh, yeah. It's hard. It really is. You know what I'm saying? When my daddy passed away and stuff like that, my mom, she took that shit, like, really bad. And I was, like, really scared. Like, it gave me nightmares because I thought she was, like she really loved this man. You know what I'm saying? So when he passed, he was actually overseas in Bosnia. When he passed away and we heard about it, and they do, like, you know, and he was in the army, so they do just like in the movies, you know, they bring the fucking black car out, you know, with the flags on it and everything like that, you know, just to break you the bad news and shit. And but they did it kind of fucked up. Like, the only thing they did, they told my mom, they called her on the phone and said that he was on life support, that they found him in the room not breathing. And that's all they told her. And hung up. Like, that was it. So she was, like, distraught for hours. The next thing we heard was when they actually showed up at her door, you know. So I thought she was going to lose it, you know what I'm saying? I thought she was going to end her life, you know what I'm saying? My brother didn't really take it too well, you know. I really didn't either, you know, but, you know, it's life, you know. I'm scared to die. I thought about that shit a couple of times too. I couldn't kill myself. I couldn't do that. But when it's your time to go, it's like, damn, how's it really going to be? Stuff that crossed my mind a couple of times. But it's not easy. It really ain't. But sometimes you just got to move forward. Like, you got to keep going. You got to keep fulfilling your life and doing what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's like the best advice I can give, because that's such a hard, touchy subject, to talk about, because especially the older you get, the more people you lose along the way, like your parents or, grandparents and stuff like that, if they haven't left yet, you know what I'm saying, or even friends. I lost my best friend not too long ago, about 2 years ago, due to cancer. Now my aunt, she got cancer in her face, and my grandpa ain't doing too good, and it's just like, oh, Lord, seems like it's starting to come a little bit more often now, So just got to realize that's what it is. That's what life is. Followed by death, sadly, you know what I'm saying, but that's just what it is.
Okay. That's a bet. I mean, again, it's a important topic, but I gave you a little extra time since you had to do your extra confessional from last night. But
we on this 5-minute limit time.
Yeah, I gave you 10 and some change. Look, we got to give everybody a chance. But if it gets slow, Boogie, you're always more than welcome to call back in. But I want to make sure everybody gets a shot.
I know.
But I definitely appreciate you
all right.
sharing and not being scared to throw a confession in there. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, right. I had to maybe lighten the mood for a second a little bit, I guess. Yeah, tell motherfuckers how bad I was. Shit. All right, y'all.
I really appreciate the call.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
All right, Josh, what you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
Yeah, about death, I've been very fortunate not to, of course, gone what you've gone through. I had my mother tell me stories all the time about how she lost her sister at a young age. I'm not sure my dad on his side had to deal with anything like that, because he still has his brother still alive today. But I guess the only thing I can really pretty much realize was there was one day I went to school, I think it was around 7th grade, and I woke up, and that was the first time I ever seen my dad almost cry a little bit for no reason. I just didn't know why. Like, he was just quiet on the way going to school, and he was just looking at pictures of his dad, which is my grandfather, and that he passed early that morning. He was very emotional about that, because he was the one who pretty much, get him over here from Africa, pretty much, like, put everything together and made sure he had a chance to succeed, because common sense, like, if he didn't do that, I'm not talking on this phone, I'm not here right now, because I don't exist. But so he was very emotional that day. And the thing was, like, with me, I only had a chance to see him once when I was like 3 years old. I never had a chance to see him again, just because he lived so far away. So that's something that I'll always remember about that. And I'm trying to go out and see my grandmother on my mother's side, because she's about to pass, because she's like over 90-some years old, so she lived a full life by now. Yeah, and I know I want to take this back, but for me personally, I was at a dark spot in my life where I thought that death was the best option, because I felt like I was in a hole that I didn't have no way out from. And thankfully, I had a parents with a great support system, and I was able to pull someone out of that, mentality. So for me, I just go through by, if I wake up, have a chance, that's 24 hours that I pretty much can, that I'm pretty much awarded, unless something, happens to me when my life gets cut short. But I know that if I do everything I can for that particular day, then I'm comfortable saying that I live with the results pretty much. So if it comes, it is what it is. I know it's crazy saying that at a young age, because I used to be on that stuff talking about, if I die, I didn't do this and this and this. But for me, I don't, care anymore, because I do my best every single day, and that just is what it is for me.
Okay. Well, that's a VT, Josh. Man, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, man.
Already. Beyond, no, I saw your post, but no, that wasn't where I got it from. The reason why I said today is because I was debating on whether I was going to talk about it or not. But I'm sorry about the ring. But today is the 21st anniversary of my sister's passing, so I was just thinking about it. It was on my mind, and so I just thought I'd talk about it today. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, this is Beyond the Funny Nigga.
Beyond, what's the motherfucking deal, man?
Hey, man, I want to know, did you decide to talk about that because I had posted that thing, you had liked it?
No, I was just answering that, but you was calling me when I answered it. Now, what I was saying is today is the 21st anniversary of my sister's passing, so, like, I was just thinking about it. It was I noticed that it was a coincidence that you put. That's why I liked it, because I was like, man, that's a coincidence. I actually was going to reply to it with a comment, but then I got caught up doing all the streaming and all that other shit, so I didn't really get a chance to comment on that. But I just thought it was very coincidental, I guess you could say. But then they say certain things don't happen for a coincidence. That means everything happens for a reason, so it might not have been a coincidence. So, you know, but yeah.
Well, since we're talking about death and everything, I really think people's problem with death because they don't know what's on the other side, and that's kind of more scary than knowing how you go in a way. Because a lot of people have that problem, like they don't care if they die, it's just how they die. Like I had that problem too. Like if I died, I wouldn't want to, like, you know, be in any pain or anything like that. But it's just the thing about not knowing the unknown is what's, you know, the fear. That's the thing that causes fear. And me personally, like if I die, I feel like I was put here for a reason, and I feel like if I don't contribute to, like, you know, the earth and my environment and everything, that my life would be wasted in the kind of way. And that's kind of why I do this little comedy thing on there, at least. Because I feel like if I make at least one person laugh, whatever, no matter where you are, where you come from, like, then my job is done. You know, at least I spend my life at least making somebody laugh, you know. But that's how I view it.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think on that concept, because I'm a firm believer in, you know, we have this energy, and I think the goal is to give all the energy away. And what I mean by that, like, you see the most successful stars and stuff, and I'm not really trying to use them, but you see the ones that seem to have the most energy, the ones that seem to give it their all in everything they do, and I think people gravitate towards. And I think the goal is in life is to give your all to others. I mean, you ain't got to be on a big stage, even if it's just in everyday life. If you just, you know, working, giving, volunteering, whatever else it may be. But I think I agree with you in the sense that you got to give something back. Otherwise, your purpose isn't as valuable as it should be.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's a bit beyond, man. But I appreciate your call there, man.
All right.
Already. I'm still getting some stream flack here. This goddamn motherfucking shit. I don't know what the fuck. It's like we'll have days where everything will be good and it'll be fine. And then it'll have fucking days. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck it is. Like I said, I honestly can't tell if it's fucking Comcast. I would assume it would have to be on that end, because shit ain't shit changing on my end. I lowered the settings and everything to make sure it was, you know, copacetic and all that. But we'll try to keep it pushing. I don't know if it's going to go through or not. It's doing a bunch of janky ass shit. It's got to be on Comcast when the phone comes out too. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening? Roman, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Let me see what we got going. I mean, it's real tough. Hold on one second. We getting it's just doing some stupid shit right now. Oh, this. Now it's connected back. Like, come on, man. I don't know what the hell just happened. Ain't that a bitch? Y'all funny to the motherfucker say the fucking stream hitting Roman with the Roman. Ain't that a bitch? Oh man, Roman, if you want to call back in, man, hey, you know, we'll try this thing again, because it's just tomfoolery and shenanigans, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. You gotta make this thing. Sorry about the ears. This is why y'all gotta donate to the stream so we can build the new Honcho Entertainment Studios. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Man, it's Anthony, bro.
Anthony, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What would you like to drop in the den this evening, man?
No, man, it's kind of funny, man, because my fiance had died of liver failure. Liver failure, kidney failure. And she had kidney transplants when she was 11. And actually today, she had crossed my mind real heavy. It'd be times, man, where I don't think about it. I remember, I was in depression for like maybe 3 years over it. And because it happened so fast. It was like I was told, hey, she's sick. She's going to Memphis to see her specialist, doctor. And I was like, okay, let me ask for some time off work. And like, I'll come out there during the weekend. And by the time the weekend came, she had already passed. So it was like, never get a chance to even then found out she was pregnant too. So it was like, did she die because she was pregnant? So I had all kind of guilt, man, just fucking me up for a while. Now I remember today, she had crossed my mind real heavy. So I was like, damn, I had gone all this time. I used to not be able to even talk about it without even crying, right? But I remember talking about it later on used to help me kind of work it out in my head and kind of understand I ain't really have any control of anything, right? But man, death is one of those things where, especially when it's unexpected and it come out of nowhere, it's kind of like, damn. I get a chance to even spend enough time with a person that, you know, I care about, and then you kind of figure out like, shit, man, this shit is real fragile, you know. You can't really take this shit for granted, waking up every day. And even like Beyond the Funny nigga was saying, you can't squander opportunities, man. You gotta live your life for you and not for others. I had to learn that my damn self, man. It's not gonna be a life that you get to fucking repeat and press pause on, you know.
Man, here's the thing, and I can't say that I can fit in your shoes because every experience is different. But I had lost someone, you know, real close to me, similar situation, an old girlfriend, and you know that kind of deteriorating. That shit just, I kind of could say that I was in the same way, man. You know, just I put a lot of blame on myself in the situation, and I can understand about it being hard to talk about and things like that. But I put a lot of blame on myself, and ultimately, I think a lot of the losses that I had that were close to me, I put a lot of blame on myself. I found fault in myself, you know, even when I talk about my sister's situation, because it was the one night, you know, I didn't go up to the hospital to go see her that night. I ended up just kind of staying home because I was feeling bad. I actually ended up staying with the neighbors, and when my mom came home, you know, she told me, you know, she had passed in the night, and I felt like shit because I wasn't there, you know, that night. Situation with a best friend that it happened, and, you know, we were just kicking it, and then everything happened so fast after that. I mean, like within a 10-minute span, it felt like, and you know, that's the last conversation you have. And even in this situation, when it, you know, I blame myself heavily, and you kind of got to get to the point where, I don't know, you everything's not your fault. Like I said, I don't know if you know how your situation was, but I'm just speaking from my experience. And man, put a lot of blame on it, slowed myself down, and I understand what, you know, living for other people, and just, you know, a lot of that stuff impacted the way I operated, the way I moved, just did a lot of stuff. And that's why I say, one, you know, I'm super thankful for, you know, my new old lady, 'cause she helped me get through a lot of this stuff. She helped me, you know, get some understanding about some things. She just put me in a better light, kind of get my mind back right. And so, but, you know, I just got to say I appreciate you for speaking, because I know it ain't easy, man. Like, I know it's not an easy thing to do, especially in that whole, you know, situation that you experienced. Man, and so I just, man, I appreciate you sharing that, man. And you know, if you ever want to chop it up, talk about it, ain't even got to be, you know, no den shit. You know, if there's anything we can ever have a conversation because I can relate to where you're coming from, man. Feel free to call. You know what I'm saying? Feel free to hit me up.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it made me. Well, I'll say this: it made me who I am today. And I think a lot of times the experiences we encounter and how we things that we face that we don't understand, and it kind of shapes us, and we get a different perspective on, you know, this life we actually living. And this for me, man, I don't take anything for granted anymore. I used to be a real ignorant to a lot of shit, man. But sometimes, man, it takes something like that to put us, you know, slow us down and kind of actually take a look at, you know, what we're actually doing, and we're not being so careless with things we do and things we say, you know, that affect us, not only ourselves but the people around us. But no, I do appreciate that, man.
Man, but like I say, man, I appreciate the call, man.
All right, thanks, man.
All right. Man, some things he said about that, about being careless, and man, I think they've definitely had some wake up calls with that, and squandering opportunity. Man, there's a lot of things when he said how fragile this life is. That's a real thing. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? I apologize for y'all's ears. What's the motherfucking deal?
It's your boy Roman.
Roman already, man. Well, look, we both got Roman last time, man. So hopefully we back on track this time.
No. It's cool, bro.
Okay.
But no, it's cool, Honcho. But about death, man. I feel like it's something that's natural, man. It's something that happens to everybody. I feel like everybody's gonna have to face it. Everybody's gonna have to deal with it. I know some people are scared. Some people are not scared, man. And it's weird how some people deal with it. Some people hurt by death. Some people are not, like I say, not afraid of it. Some people are. It's just so many different emotions it can bring, you know. And as a person, as a Christian, I always feel like everybody has a purpose, you know, and everybody's meant to do something in life, you know. Everybody, God created everybody for one thing, you know. And I feel like a purpose for me is I feel like I like to talk. So I like to make people laugh and start conversations and see people happy and all that. And to reel this back into my point, man, I think, you know, the best way to deal with death is to not be sad about it. In a way, death is a beautiful thing because, you know, the people you love, especially, they're going on to better places. You know, they don't have to deal with being sick, sad, hungry, just all the bad emotions and the bad effects of being a human, man. Now, as humans, we miss their conversations, we miss their laughter, we miss their emotions, but in a way that's kind of a selfish way of thinking about it. We should be happy that they're dead because, you know, they're going on to greater places. Now, it does matter on how they died. Now, Honcho, I apologize, and I'm sad, and I'm sorry for what happened with your sister, man. I kind of lost I lost a grandma like that, you know. So, you know, I know it's always different ways of how the person died to make it even more sad. You know, it's different than somebody just dying of old age than, you know, getting killed, or dying of a sickness, or, you know. But you still got to think about, you know what, they're going on to greater places. They're not sick no more. They don't have to deal with the pain. They're not getting killed no more, you know. And, yeah, man, a story for me, man, it was hard for me because I have, like, a grandma, and she was more like my great-grandma, but she kind of kept the family together, man. She cooked, she cleaned, she was always there, she was nice, and, you know, she was a diabetic, and she was always the person that was, like, she didn't really give a damn about her diabetes. She was going to eat. She loved to eat. She loved to eat. So, you know, eventually when she died, she went in the hospital a couple of times. But eventually when she died, man, it's like the family kind of broke apart. Relationships kind of been astray with me and my aunt and stuff. So, you know, at the time when I was younger, it was hard. Like, damn, you know, I felt like it was, in a way, I'm to blame for her death because I felt like I don't know. I think that's was me as a kid. I didn't know what to think, you know, and I cried and I cried and I cried. And, you know, I know that's an emotion at a funeral, but I think I had to eventually learn. I eventually realized, man, she's going on to a greater place. She said that. She told us before she died, "Don't be sad that I'm dying, because I'm going to a greater place." So, ever since my grandma ever said that, man, I really tried to live by that. So I think people should live by death is a great thing. You know, they go on to greater places and to see greater things. So that's all I got, Honcho. Bless you.
Oh man, I was trying to look. I had to hop off screen. I couldn't let y'all see me sneezing like that. But no, definitely, Roman. I definitely agree. And and again, and I wonder, if again, I saw how to say something about blaming ourselves being selfish, and I think it's just something that we all go through because we wonder, was there something more that we could have done? Did we really execute to our fullest extent? So, but I definitely agree with you said. That they move on to a better place, and I think regardless of whatever person's religious belief may be. If you're no longer dealing with the pain that you're going through, then obviously, death is a better situation than suffering.
Mm-hmm. Like I say, just with your loved ones, man, be with them as close and love them as close as you can, man, because you never know when they're going to go. So that's all I got, Honcho.
Already. I appreciate the call, Roman.
Anytime.
Already. Look, I'm in over here sneezing and shit. Trying to motherfucker be trying to hide it. Where we talking about? I gotta hold on. I have to see what's going on with that. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Let me see what y'all in this chat talking about. I have not been. I ain't gonna lie. I have not been active in the chat like I need to be, paying attention like I normally do. Here we go. But you're saying let me see. Say y'all going into some deep conversation. What y'all talking about over here? Here's the thing. Though. Yeah, that's interesting that you said that death is. Let me see. Y'all said that that y'all can't. You don't believe that y'all ain't getting no action on the super chat. Okay, well give me. Let me try to figure it out. We'll flip it in a second. I'll go to the settings and I'll set it up here in just a second. But but here's the deal. And like you said, for people, only if you're going to heaven, death is cool. But what about people who don't believe? What about, because this is what I was saying, people have a lot of different perspectives on things, and, some people are atheists, but then you have people who have said, certain things about, when they reach death, and you start hearing people calling out for God or whatever else it may be, they start seeing a different thing. Some people have said they've died and seen the light at the end of the tunnel. Some people have said they've died and seen nothing, just darkness. So I think that these are things that, you got to consider. Because there's been some people who've died a couple of times and they still living in what most of us would call wicked ways, And it's never changed them. I've known people, like I say, who said they've died and there wasn't no tunnel, wasn't no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. So I'm laughing at the Dave super chat. That's fucking funny. That's funny. But you said me too, but I'm not too sure as well. I ain't died before. Yeah. And I think that brings up, I think that necessarily goes to the next conversation. Yeah, we'll take this call, about higher powers and beliefs of that nature. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in on the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho, this is Sean.
Sean, how you doing this evening? What would you like to drop in the den tonight?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say, listening to the conversation, I personally think that death is the ultimate peace and state of peace. So I don't fear death. I don't think death is something diabolical. I don't think death is something to be feared. I think it is the ultimate peace. I think it's almost like a rite of passage that, you lived, you served your purpose on this earth, and you were taken from this earth by that same purpose. We don't know how we come here. We don't know why. If anybody can explain to me, oh, how did I get here? What is my being? What is my, purpose? Half of us don't even know. Your purpose is that you're born and you learn to live that purpose. And once you have fulfilled that purpose, you die. So that is the ultimate peace. In this day and age, with everything that's going on, death is not something that is really feared, not really by me. It's something that's welcomed. I'm me personally. I want to go ahead and fulfill my purpose. Just to get it over with, because it's almost aggravating in between. Life's challenges and stuff, and but that's me just plunking out. But I would like for everybody to think that life's purpose should be kind of looked at as a challenge, and turn whatever purpose you have in your life into joy, because you're going to die. We're all going to die. So if we really get real with that, then I think we will change our day-to-day activities, our day-to-day operations, our day-to-day priorities. So if you think of it in that perspective, I think we all need to be figuring out and listening to our own selves and reflecting in our own selves what is going to be your purpose and what are you going to leave on this earth when you die. Because it's going to happen. There's no Superman, there's no superpower, there's no super nothing. You're going to die. So what are you going to do in your life to make this a better place? Or do you choose to live your life to make it a more miserable place? And, to contribute to all of these shenanigans. Oh, my goodness. I mean, we talk about it every week. All of the daily life shenanigans. But if you really take yourself to a higher level, those things are nothing but things that you have to navigate. But they ain't got nothing to do with your purpose. You feel me, Honcho?
Yeah. I mean, like you got me thinking about some things. So I'm listening and I'm taking notes and I'm processing because I'm seeing how I can apply.
And I'm about to take this to a whole nother level, but I want everybody to know it has nothing to do with our purpose. When we talk about in the den, we talk about Jesse, we talk about R. Kelly, we talk about reparations, we talk about sports, we talk about what else is like Billy Smollett, Billy Bob with the bound, what is it, the debutante dress at the Oscars and all of this crazy stuff. This stuff is crazy. Trump, everything. Everything is just over the top. Everything is over the top. To the point where you almost can't even live your life. But guess what? It ain't over the top if you really understand life. Okay, so that is part of your journey, to be able to navigate and to be able to be at that higher level mentally, where all that stuff don't even really bother you. Because if we think about all of the shenanigans, at the end of the day, we all going to die. So think about that. And if you look at it in that perspective, I think you can reprioritize your life. You ain't worried about Jesse. We ain't worried about R. Kelly. We ain't worried about Billy Bob lighting the loafers. When you know you about to be dead, we got other things to handle. We got our children in our lives. We got our purpose. We got our passion. We got our love. We got things we want to do. Those are all distractions. Just stay focused on that. And all this stuff will just be like what they used to call, that's just like, water over your shoulder. Just take it with a grain of salt. But when you have that mindset and that mentality, none of it bothers you. None of it. So I would encourage everybody to seek that higher mentality where everything, you could just brush it off your shoulders. It's a grain of salt because it has absolutely nothing to do with our purpose. Nothing. And you separate, that's called priority, you separate the shit. It has nothing to do with not my purpose, with my family, your family, anybody else's family. Roman, I love you, Roman. I have to do a little shout out. But let me just get, on the 5-minute time. So I just want to put that out to the den just for love, I don't know, anybody may, set it or forget it, like it or love it, leave it, whatever. But on your sister, I want to put it out to you, as well. It was a purpose. It was a reason. And I'm going to leave that alone, but it deep based on what I'm saying. But what I really want to talk about in this den, since we're talking about death, I'm going to switch the conversation. We got a problem with suicide. I sat up there this morning. I got 2 text alerts. George Foreman's daughter, the heavyweight champion, previous heavyweight champion, his daughter, 42 years old, committed suicide. The same day, another United States Olympic cyclist, 23 years old, committed suicide, all in one day. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm talking about there's too much suicide going on. We got Whitney Houston. We got Bobby Christina. We got Anthony Bourdain. I don't know if anybody worked CNN when Anthony Bourdain went around the world and cooked food.
Yeah.
So I want to put that out to the den. I'm like, we talk about death. If we talk about death, we also got to talk about suicide. And that's why I gave you kind of like that little lecture. I gave the den that lecture before I talked about suicide because we got a lot of people that's suicidal. But I want them to think about the first 3 minutes of my conversation, before, you really understand life. Because there's a lot of people, if you got these high-powered people, and I think, I'm a little person. I ain't got no money. I'm not like no big celebrity. I ain't killing my damn self. Yeah. I ain't thinking about killing myself. I'm like, what are they going through? What? They in pain. They in pain. They ain't happy. That's where it tells you money ain't everything. Money don't make you happy. Something is going on here. And that's why I wanted to talk about purpose and understanding that we're going to die. You ain't got to rush it by suicide because you're going to die anyway. Trust me. Just live for a purpose. So that's what I want to put in the den since we talk about death. We also got to talk about suicide because I believe that this is an epidemic. In addition to that, I think there's a lot of our service members. It's becoming documented, but it's like our little dirty secret. We got dirty little secrets. That should be the damn confession of the United States Army of how many of our military servicemen are committing suicide. So let's talk about that if we talk about death, because that is another aspect of death.
Okay.
Suicide.
All right.
Thank you.
Miss Sunshine, I appreciate the call.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
Love you, Roman.
Already. I got some calls coming in. I'm gonna speak on that because there's some very interesting things in what she said. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
What's good, Honcho? This is Vince.
Vince, what's the motherfucking deal, Vince, man? What you want to drop in the den this evening, man?
Man, I just wanted to drop a little something about this topic, man, on death. And story about me, man. When I was younger, I never really, you lose partners and stuff, but when you're younger, you don't tend to think about death as much. But when I was 27, I actually got hurt in a bad accident. I used to be an electrician, and I got crushed. And so I was in ICU for a week, almost died from it. And I was lucky. And right after that, that was the first real time that I really, really thought about death, because I actually went through that accident and almost didn't make it, but I was lucky to come out of it. And so after that, it took that to get, let me just go ahead and appreciate life more, because you just never know when your time is going to come. And so that's when, right after that, my girlfriend at the time, I got married and then ended up having a family. And now for me, I just focus on enjoying life, And even though I know, but at this point in moment, I'm more focused on building about what I can leave to pass on when I'm not here. Teaching my son how to be a man, and teaching my daughter how to, grow up and do things and learn things and get educated and all that stuff. So I'm basically just now focusing on stuff to leave behind, and teach them the right stuff. So, but you just, like I said, you just never know when that time's gonna come, man. So that's what it took for me to focus more about life once I had that accident.
Okay. Well, one, I'm glad that everything worked well and you survived and you're able to join us in the den. But is it unfortunate? Like, so would you say that kind of immediately after you recovered, was there like an amplification in your life? I would say maybe that you just maybe had, like you said, you focus more on it. But was there like a different energy in which you approach life?
It was because when you're a lot younger, sometimes you just feel invincible, not to the point where you just doing wild stuff, which I wasn't at the time, but it's just, when you're young, you tend to feel like, oh, I'll be all right, nothing can happen, I should be okay. But then when it happens, and then it really lets you reflect back on things, and you be like, you know what, I'm gonna enjoy it even more, because I could have easily not been here no more. You know what I mean? And so it just helped me reflect more and focus on really enjoying it and just, focusing on the more important things, you know what I mean? And because, when you, like I said, when I was younger, I might not have focused on the right stuff, when I was young. You're young, you're like, oh, I'll think about this, think about that. But once that happened, it put me in a whole nother perspective on life, you know what I mean? So, and so now, like I said, that's what I'm just focused on, stuff behind that I can pass down and stuff like that. That's why I'm working on different things, and whether it's businesses, whether it's stuff that I can pass down, stuff, because like I said, if I am going to be gone at some point, which I will, at least I want to know that I left something behind for my children, and not only that, I taught them what they needed to know. You know what I mean? So.
Exactly. Man, well, that's a bet, man. Well, Vince, I appreciate the call, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us.
All right, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Already. Shout out to Vince, man. That's interesting. I wonder if has anybody else had a near-death experience that they would like to share. All right. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, this is Beyond the Funny Nerd.
What you got there, Beyond? What you want to drop in the den this evening?
Hey, man, I just wanted to tell you, put that on the T-shirt. Well, what's her name was saying? You gonna die. Put that on the T-shirt. She said that like a pastor is gonna get you baptized. Die for the Lord.
Hey, fuck with you.
That's all I wanted to say.
All right, man. Shout out to Beyond, man.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, but I mean, that's real shit. I mean, when you think about it, look, And to kind of piggyback off what Vince said, man, you gotta. I think when you are younger, when you know before you have those experiences, you know we take things for granted, especially when you're young, because you know you bump your head, you get into shit, you bounce back, you think you're invincible, you know. Especially when you have some of those experiences where, now I wouldn't say near death experiences, but where you escape some close calls and you just feel like, you know what I'm saying, like shit. You know, shit, I missed it before, I'll miss it again. You know, it won't happen, it won't impact me. I think those type of that type of mind frame can impact you when you're young. All right, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
You're not going to do your line?
Yeah, I said what's the... See, I guess I got to time it late. Because when I be answering and saying it, people still don't be here, so it might still be carrying the thing over. But what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, this is Jay Dizzle, man. I'm laughing my ass off. I got so much funny shit going on around me right now that I just happen to Pete motherfucker say, we all go, die. This is so fucking funny to me. I'm sitting over here just thinking of all kind of shit she could say, but just keep saying it like that. And then I just so happen to look over, and there's this motherfucker in the truck parked next to me. And I guess he could see me over here laughing my ass off, so I guess he was laughing too. And then I really started laughing at him too, because I just happened to notice this shit. And it's the definition of irony. This motherfucker got about a total of 6 teeth in his mouth, period. And on his dashboard, he got a bag of gummy bears, and I just thought that was the funniest shit ever. I'm sorry. It's just so fucking ironic to me. This nigga is eating gummy bears with 6 teeth. I think that's just funny. But anyway, as far as what was the caller name? What was her name? Yeah, Sean. She was talking some shit. I'm sorry, baby girl. I was too busy laughing at your enunciation and shit that I really did miss a lot of what you were saying. So I apologize. But as far as my prerogative is, man, I'm not a very sympathetic person when it comes to suicide, except for like people who's going through a whole bunch of pain or some shit. Because I can understand that could be a fucked up way to live. You know what I'm saying? It's just you in pain all day, every day. I get that. But you motherfuckers who just can't handle some mental shit, yeah, just gonna kill yourself. I ain't got no sympathy for you. You're not that strong-minded enough to where you could try to work past it or get past it, and you feel like that's your only way out. Just go and do it. You just one less dumb motherfucker we got to worry about. That's just how I feel about it. I don't think there's enough suicide. I think it ought to be a whole bunch of other stupid motherfuckers who are no good to this planet that should just fucking kill themselves. And I know that might not be popular with some of y'all because y'all might know somebody that killed themselves. It depends on the reason. And I'm, like I said, again, I'm very unsympathetic. So that's just my opinion. Whether you like it or not, I don't give a shit. I really don't. But of course we all go die. We get that. And this is what you talking about. Having money ain't gonna make you happy. I be goddamn shit. Let me figure it out, then. Let me get a chance to learn to see what the fucking downfall of having money is. Because the way I look at it is this, and I always was curious exactly how this felt. I would like to wake up one day and not have to worry about how I'm gonna pay my bill. I never got the chance to experience that. I mean, I got a job now where I don't have to worry about it as much, but I'm talking about where I have enough money where I won't have to worry about that the rest of my life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I would love to know how that feels. That would make me look at shit a lot different. That would make me want to do different things than what I do now. My priorities would change. You know what I'm saying? That would change my life drastically. So, I mean, shit, because I can find a whole bunch of shit that make me happy because I can't depend on people to make me happy because people are full of shit. So, look, it is what it is. I got a real small circle, and I know them niggas will fuck with me regardless whether I had bread or not. So, I ain't really tripping on that. So, if I had bread, that just make our time with each other more enjoyable because, shit, We can get away and go do shit now. We ain't got to worry about how we going to pay these bills and feed these kids and shit. So fuck what people talking about when they talking about that. More money, more problems, shit. If I just have to isolate myself a little more from a bunch of these other hating-ass motherfuckers, then yeah, it is what it is. I'd rather kick it by myself or with my little small circle than to fuck with y'all in the first place. I don't do that now. So I understand what some people would say that, but that's to the people who changes when they get money. I would be the same nigga. I just have better shit. That's just all it is. I still be calling the soft line and Denline, talking the same shit I'm talking right now. Except I just have nicer shit that y'all wouldn't be able to see or know about. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? And plus, Honcho wouldn't have to worry about it. I would have just gave you the bread that you're looking for already. I would have done all that, so that would have helped you too. So, shit, I'd be spreading the love if I had the money like that. So I don't believe in that as far as I'm concerned. But a lot of these other motherfuckers, when they get money, they be on that other shit. They only care about them and nobody else but them, which is their prerogative. But I mean, shit, I just wouldn't find it. I wouldn't feel comfortable with myself living that way. That's just not me. So I don't knock them, because especially if you did what you did to earn the money, then shit, you can do whatever the fuck you want to. But I couldn't live that way.
I can understand that. And, I talk a lot of shit, too, about people, with money. And I talk about these athletes and their situations. I understand it completely and can't really fault them. But that is something I definitely I talk a lot of shit about it because of how it happens, because of how some of their people react, and I just wish that some of them would see when they're getting used, when it's really the love, and then when it's really when they're getting used. And I think a lot of them end up getting used and fucked over, so I wish that they would see things differently. But I agree with you, because I know me, myself, personally, if I had a whole bunch of, I'd probably be one of the motherfuckers that fuck up and end up, I wouldn't say giving it all away, but I know I'd be pretty generous with the shit, just because, I mean, if you got enough, you can live well, and you're going to be all right. You don't want to see people doing bad. Like, you just, I mean, especially as people that you fuck with, you know what I'm saying? So I can definitely see that.
True, but that comes to a certain extent. Like, here's my thing about me being a realist. I believe people when they tell me what they are. I believe them. I'm not optimistic when it comes to shit like that, or I don't try to see the best in a motherfucker. I see them for what they are, and then I proceed accordingly, just like that. So if you know that one of your kinfolk ain't shit, and you know if you give him $1 million, he just going to run through it and then come back within about a year or two and ask you for some more money, why would you give him $1 million in the first place if you know he's not going to do right? Yeah. So I got a bunch of people, because like I can count on one hand how many people I would actually give money to, and I have a very big family. I wouldn't give none of them, a lot of them motherfuckers, I wouldn't give them not a fucking dime. Yeah. I'll get you what you need, but you're not finna get no money. I'll get you a car, I'll pay for your college education, you carry your ass to school, and you get away where you can get back and forth to school. But after that, you got to buy your own house, you got to buy your own car after that. If you start a family, you got to pay for your own fucking kids. I didn't bust that nut, so I'm not paying for it. That's just how I look like it. I look at it just like that. I'm not finna take care of nobody else's kids unless I choose to. Mm-hmm. That's just how that goes. So a lot of people, they want to be too free-hearted with shit. And you can't be in this world because people will take advantage of that. So what you do is you try to help them out to a certain point, but then you allow them to help themselves from then on. And if they're not willing to do that, that's on them. It's not on you. You did what you could for them. You set it up the best you can. It's like when you do the little Vada shit in volleyball. You got to spike it, my nigga. Yeah. I can't do it for you, and I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's straight up. Mm-hmm.
So that's how I do. I give you the knowledge and everything that you want to, but it's up to you what you do with it. I'm not finna force you and hold your fucking hand. You know what I'm saying? Our guide will tell you, look, you got to go around that corner, but once you go around that corner, you're on your own. I got you to the block. You got to go handle the rest yourself.
Yeah. Straight up, I feel that. Because, I mean, because if you set up a bad trend and letting them, taking care of everything always, they're going to keep coming back to you. They never figured out on it for themselves, and they'll be relying on you until they run through everything they had and try to run through everything you got, too, if you let them.
Yeah, and another way to figure out who you would give money to, just look at the people, whenever you down bad, look at the motherfuckers who stay around. And look at the motherfuckers who disappeared. Mm-hmm. Like Honcho, at one point you said when you was down bad, you was staying with somebody, and he looked out for you. Mm-hmm. That nigga right there is gonna be the same nigga that's gonna be around you when you
yeah.
get your money. That'll be the nigga you give money to.
Yeah, absolutely.
The rest of the motherfuckers who just disappeared or them fly by night ass motherfuckers, and it's your kinfolk too. They the same way. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta proceed with them people according. You understand what kind of relationship you and that person have, and don't try to change it. Don't let nothing change it unless they want to change it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless they just all of a sudden one day find God or some shit. You know, because some people can do that, but most of the time, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, especially you young people. So Roman, listen up. People tend to not change. They tend to be who they are. It's a very, very rare occurrence where somebody will change. And a lot of times it's some life-threatening or life-changing event happens. You know what I'm saying? Like Vince, he damn near died, so he started looking at shit different. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that when you young you think you're invincible. It's when you young you think you got such a long life to live. Yeah. And then when something threatens to shorten it drastically, you like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. I might not finish this whole race. Something could take me the fuck out before I finish this race. And it wakes you up to that reality. And reality smacks you hard. Reality is not a subtle thing, man. Yeah. When some reality hits you, bro, it hits you very, very hard. And it's a significant thing. So if you choose to heed the warning, you'll probably live a lot better or live a better quality of life. Maybe not as long, but you'll live a better quality of life. But if you choose not to pay attention or you choose not to heed that warning, your life gonna get cut short.
That's true.
You gonna die.
Man, Jack Jizzle, man. As always, man, I appreciate the call, man. You had looked it was a perfect cap. God damn. Oh man, I can't fuck with y'all, man. Oh man, y'all be having me rolling.
I did, Honcho.
That's a bit. I appreciate it. I'm laughing about the gummy bears. I'm laughing about all of that. But I mean, sometimes though you got to say that shit with the impact, man, to really make it sit. You know, because it's one thing. You know, everybody dies. You know, you ain't thinking about, it, but you gonna die. Or you say it with that impact, with that energy. Shit, you know, that's gonna let you know. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Mr. Edmund.
Mr. Edmund. All right. So what would you like to drop in the den this evening, Mr. Edmund?
I wanted to ask a question related to the topic.
All right, what you got?
Obviously, you know, we deal with human death differently, but how do you deal with, let's say, one of your dogs dying? Do you still feel like, how do you deal with that kind of death, especially since, you know, we can get attached to our pets?
Man, look. Let me tell you something. I think after Scotty, it's a wrap for me. Because Pimp C said something, man. He said, man, fuck a pet. Get all sad when they die and shit. When pets die, depending on how long the relationship that you've had with the pet, it can be a very sad experience. Now, cats, I don't know, because I haven't really established a relationship with a cat like that. But dogs, especially when you've had a dog for years and they've been a loyal and faithful companion, because, you know, ain't no love like dog love. You know what I'm saying? And a dog is just, them motherfuckers don't give a fuck. Well, depending, they don't give a fuck how you treat them. They don't give a fuck what you do to them. As long as you're willing to pet their motherfucking ass and, you know, fuck with them every now and then, them motherfuckers be loyal as shit. But, you know, it can definitely be a very painful experience, depending on the length of time that you've had a dog. You know, like I say, just having that companion there. Sometimes, you know, motherfucker be talking to the dog. Dog can't talk back. Motherfucker just looking at you like, what the fuck you on? You know, but I'm going to listen. I don't know what you're saying. You speaking some other language I can't comprehend, but I'm going to sit here as long as you pet me and feed me every now and then. You know, they be cool with the shit. But the thing about it is, you gotta, you know, I mean, it's sad. It is sad, you know, and I understand why some people do the things that they do with their animals. I don't know about stuffing them motherfuckers and shit. That shit's a little weird to me, but, you know, I understand people who treat their pets kind of like people. I've buried some dogs before. They're, good loyal dogs. Like I done buried them. They around. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I've lost it. I've lost Chilo, one of them. He was my little chihuahua. That nigga was gangster. That was my dog right there. That motherfucker there was a beast. He ain't fuck with nobody. He kept it 100. He ain't trust nobody. He got close to very few people. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about him, he had a little incident. Like I said, I don't know how he got mauled somehow. I don't know if it was by some neighborhood dogs, but doing what he always did. And that shit had me sad to the bitch. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? I had him for about 6 or 7 years or so. And he was just kind of, everything. I let him in the gate. He was small, so he found a way out, and he'd go dip around the streets a little bit. But when I would call for him, he'd always come home. I just have to let out a little noise that he knew to come through, and shit. That nigga wasn't answering that one day. Scotty came home, his ass didn't. I was trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, and the motherfucker was mauled across the street, like fucked up. You could tell it was a very painful death. You could see the expression frozen on his face from where he died. It was fucked up. That shit had me sad than a bitch, man. I ain't gonna lie. So it can be painful. Now, I don't think it's painful to the same extent as a human, because of the conversation, the action, the things you do with humans. But your dog can be a loyal companion, even when, other people ain't there or whatever else it may be. So yeah, it can be fucked up, man. So pets, yes, that's my spiel on pets. Goddamn.
Right, especially since I don't know about cats. I don't know why people get cats in the first place, but I think dogs have a real strong connection with humans, and especially since some dogs, some specific dogs can be chick magnets. So that's why I feel like I'm like getting a dog will help me with that stuff.
This motherfucker that went from doggy death to getting a dog to fucking pick up chicks. Boy, if you don't get the fuck up out of here, man, goddamn.
No, but in all seriousness though, yeah, definitely, it's not as having a pet is not as having a pet die is not as emotional as having a human die. But I think I understand why people have, I don't know if they're in depression, but I understand why people get emotional when people in general, but it happens to white people a lot. Not trying to be stereotypical.
I think you're a racist, Ed, man. Wait a minute, let me see your green card.
But I have some good news though.
What you got there, Ed, man?
I'm flying to London this summer to go visit someone special in the den chat.
Interesting. Do they have restraining orders in London?
Why? She was the one that invited me, so
Okay. Well, hey, I hope it all works out. I hope that you don't wake up one day feeling groggy, missing organs and things of that nature. But I hope it all goes well. I hope you don't end up on the what, taken 4, 5, whatever taken number it is.
I mean, I don't think the German is that crazy, right? I mean, she might be 6 foot tall, but
Germans started that shit. So I mean, that's where that shit originally, happened. You thought you was Bill Cosby over here. You can go to London and get done with the old fish and chips, and that's the last we end up hearing of that, man. Yep. All right,
but on a serious note though, something really good happened today though. I was able to, I got matched with someone on Tinder, and I actually knew the person from one of my classes last semester, and I was able to get her number, so add another number to the list.
Why didn't you get her number in class?
Well, because I never approached her last semester, but for some reason, I got matched with her just today, and we've been conversating. So
okay, Well, I hope that works out. I hope that works out well for you. And I don't know what to say about it, man. Just keep us updated with the story and how it works out, man.
Yeah, but you have to eat crow now because you told me to delete Tinder, but it's actually been more useful this month than.
I'm going to be honest, but I mean, there's no proof. I have no actual proof of Tinder working for you, so I can't say that that it worked out for you. You could be just fabricating this whole story.
Well, I've been getting the digits like hot potatoes, man. So I just have to now execute the plan, and
just get into this
before you know,
okay, go ahead.
No, but before you know it, you'll be hearing stories of, no, you won't be hearing stories. You'll be hearing the audio that I'll send you.
I don't want that shit. You keep that shit. I ain't got nothing. I don't need that.
But that's the proof, though.
I'm all right with that. I'll just not take your word for it, Ed, man, and hope that you're winning.
I'll just link it on the chat then so everyone can see.
I mean, that'll work. Somebody will watch it.
All right.
I appreciate the call there, man.
Love you, Brandon.
God damn it. That wasn't quick enough. Yeah, first, and I want to say shout out to Vici and Sarah, man. I appreciate the love. I didn't want y'all to think I was being dismissive, and I want to make sure I sent that love to y'all. I appreciate y'all supporting the den. Ed, man, I don't even know about just like I don't even know. And I should have known. I was prepping for it because I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to happen. So I was getting prepared to get to click, and he got me. Now I just know I just gotta kill Edman's calls probably like 30 seconds before they're ready. But I'm gonna be honest, man. Look, I can't vouch for your Tinder activities. I mean, there's no real proof in the situation, so I don't know if these things are true in which you say. So there's that. He said it. I don't know. So, but again, talking about death, it's been a very interesting topic tonight. Pet death can be a thing. Let's talk about celebrity death for a second, because I mean, this is a thing. I have a question. Has there been any celebrities passing that has had an impact on your life? And I saw that when y'all was talking about cats and men cry over cats. Yeah, some do. Has anyone here tried dog meat? No, probably. I don't know. I've eaten a lot of Asian food, so I don't know what you got, man. I don't know what it is. I can only assume that the food that I've eaten has been what it's supposed to be, but I don't put anything past it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If it came down to it, I don't know, but cats aren't really that mean. There's some fat ass cats out there, but cats aren't really that mean. I probably would not be upon people, but I'm going to unsubscribe from the den for this. But if it came down to having to eat a domesticated animal in America, I don't give a shit about horses. Look, throw me My Little Pony burger, I'm gonna eat that bitch. As long as that bitch is cooked, I'm with the shit. I'm not thinking twice about it. So I know there was a Burger King. I know somebody said something about Jack in the Box having the horse burger situation. You send this shit to the sauce. God damn it. You sent the damn picture to the sauce. I'm not even fucking with you, Ed, man. I'm not. I'm disavowing any knowledge of any of these conversations. So I don't think any of that. Would he pay for an animal funeral? I don't think that it's going that's a little too far. I'll bury the motherfucker. I'll dig a hole and throw him in a box or some shit. Make it look official. But at a certain point, it's a wrap. Okay. So I said DJ Screw, Pimp C, Tupac, Pimp C. Okay. Yeah, man. Tupac and Fat Pat, Michael Jackson. Okay. I see Michael Jackson, celebrity death matches. Yeah, they didn't turn into some. I don't know what's going on. That's Ed Man with his degenerate porn habits, not degenerate porn habits. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's interesting. Pimp C definitely caught me by surprise, man. That one was unexpected. Tupac situation was unexpected. It was crazy how that happened. I want to say I was at my partner house. I was young, so I was at my partner house, and I think we was over there playing video games or some shit when that happened. DJ Screw, I was on the way to Corpus Christi on a theater field trip. After that field trip, I was banned from going on theater field trips anymore. We ain't gonna get into that. But all I'm saying is she came to my room, okay? I have no, that is what that is. Steve Irwin, oh yeah, that's tough, man. Aretha Franklin had the best funeral, all the outfits and nice shoes. Yeah, they really went in on her shit. They were really, really talking about Saved by David Bowie. Okay. Mick Fitz, what's the motherfucking deal? Denline, they said sleep apnea, man. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a super conspiracy theorist type person, man. I'm really fucking not. All right. But for some reason, it's just because of the role that Pimp C was on in that time frame right before his death. I think he was upsetting some shit. Because we talk about how cruel and how, evil the entertainment industry is. And Pimp C low-key was exposing a lot of motherfuckers. But it don't even matter if you brought the real to people. It don't even matter if you brought the, because people gonna like what they like. Because most motherfuckers, you tell them, man, these motherfuckers are fake anyway. I don't care. It's just entertainment. I don't care if they really did it or not. It's just entertainment. I just like the way it sounds. It is what it is. Prince was tough, man. Triple X was odd. Like I didn't know of him really till that shit happened. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really familiar, but just the way it happened was odd. I'm not familiar with Lil Peep, so I don't even know. But yeah, just the way shit happened, and that's the thing, man. So it's odd because there are people that have an impact in your life, even though you may not have a direct relationship with them. He definitely had a relationship with the Americans. His death was a surprise. Let's say Whitney Houston was sad. Oh man, yeah, that was a wild one. But because I guess, is it because of legends like that it's hard to deal with their passing, that we look at them in a different way, in a different light, so it's kind of difficult to really imagine that they would move on. And I wonder, I remember when Michael's situation, that shit was it was strange, man. Let me see, who else had an odd one? Who else was a big impact? James Brown. I was just thinking about that. Let me see. Let me see. Pardon me. Yeah, her daughter was crazy. That was a crazy one. Yeah. So it was a lot. I mean, it's a lot of crazy shit. Yeah, Amy Winehouse. Okay, I was about to say, trying to think of her name. You put it up there. Yeah, the Osama bin Laden thing is crazy because, yeah, we killed him and then threw him in the ocean. Word. For real. For real. Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain was interesting. Did you see the one? It's a documentary called Into the Bleach or something like that. And it was the cop who investigated Kurt Cobain's death, and he did a bunch of interviews with Courtney Love and some of them other motherfuckers, and they was all doped up and all this shit. Like, he provides like tapes and some other shit, and it's real interesting. It's really, really interesting. So, yeah, I saw Arthur Morgan. I ain't finna talk about that. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know. I'm trying to think. If there. I feel like it's one that I'm trying to think. All right, babe. Appreciate you coming through. Stan Lee. That was tough. Yeah, Kjo to the Bills. You ain't know the real deal about Kjo to the Bills. Finna be the greatest corner in the league. But that's my thing, man. Left Eye Dime was crazy. Yeah, that was. JFK. Man, who was that? Owen Hart? Owen Hart was crazy. Because that shit didn't seem like. I guess certain situations, they, especially in arenas where you expect shit to be planned and shit to be staged, and that's a wild thing. Playboy Mansion guy, pimping ass Hefner. That's why he wore them fucking bathrobes everywhere. And that's funny, man, because people making a deal about R. Kelly having multiple women. But nobody questioned Hef having multiple women. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Here we go, call it a chip. Yeah, Hugh Hefner died a while back, huh? Like a couple of months. It ain't been a year quite, has it? Maybe it has. Shit. Here we go, calling a hit on El Chapo to shut him up. I don't know what he was doing, but he talked about making them sleep together and doing all, like, one of them chicks. He was talking about all that shit. The one I think who ended up leaving and getting with the football player or something like that. Yeah, she was talking about that shit, how they all had to like wear the same pajamas and just a bunch of little weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a bunch of weird shit. It's been years since he died. Damn, I feel like, I don't know. It seemed like he just died recently. I guess it's been a minute. But yeah, they talked about he had him doing some weird shit, besides just working the mansion. Let me see. Kendra. Yeah, okay, that's her name. Heath Ledger was, man, I'm going to be honest. Like, I didn't even know who Heath Ledger was until the Joker. So, All right, Vincent, man, appreciate you coming through. But what I'm saying, though, is that how these connections to people and their artwork. Oh, shit. Well, appreciate the love. Super chat. Thank you very much. Hey-o. That's what I'm talking about. Very unexpected, man. Y'all been showing love this evening. I just want to say thank y'all. Look, I'm gonna get the numbers right. Like I keep saying, I'm gonna do it, but I've been all over the place. Then I was, with it being the first day of quote unquote tampering. For this to be the first day of tampering, it was a lot of moves that didn't seem like tampering. It felt like motherfuckers were just making moves. But I'm gonna get all the numbers right, and I'm gonna see exactly where we're at. But I have been saying I want to say we're like in the 40% vicinity. That's where I think we are. And I'm looking. I think we should be in that vicinity, somewhere close to that. So shout out to Super Chat. Super Chat, definitely appreciate it. That's the first time I even seen the name. So that's very interesting. But thank you very much. You know, the Joker, the Patriot. Again, like I say, I'm not really familiar with all the. I'm like with Superstar. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like what's his name? Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio were like the same dude for I don't know how many years. All them motherfuckers were the same to me until The Departed. And then like I started seeing the differences. and that's fucked up. So that's definitely straight. That's funny how it was the Patriots owner at that place, but then they were saying the chick who used to own the thing got a bunch of pictures with Trump and shit. But apparently they said she had sold off that the little chain or whatever. So small world, right? I just need to. She's about 45. Odd, right? Odd. Asian lady. Pimping out the other little Asian ladies. Interesting. Ooh, that's a tough one. Knowing somebody who was murdered. I had a couple of partners from high school that got murdered. You know what I'm saying? So, and those things were unfortunate. And the thing that was fucked up about the two that really come to mind that I think were the most fucked up is these niggas, like, they weren't that type of dude. It really, the situation happened. One of them happened on stupid shit. Like, one of them, the dude wasn't no gangster, but it was like, I think it was some old female shit that the motherfucker got shot up behind somebody else's old lady. He just happened to be there. And some old ex-boyfriend shit, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even remember recall the whole details of that one. And that wasn't, they wasn't even like on no street shit like that. He was just a cool ass dude. Used to hoop with him back on the basketball team. Cool motherfucker, man. Cool ass dude. And then had another dude that he was out there getting it in. And he was cool motherfucker, man. But when I say this nigga was getting it in, but he was like, he wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was making moves, but he wasn't like that. And he was taking care of his family. Like, he was finna go. He was like getting ready to go to school. I mean, he was doing a bunch of shit. He bought his T. Jones a house, like got him up out, you know, out of a shitty kind of neighborhood. And he was just making moves, but had like goals. And for that nigga to be doing what he was doing and putting on like he was, to get murked over some old trash shit, and not to be, you know, biased or funny sounding, but it was some little niggas from Louisiana around that Katrina time shit, and you know, he got dead bad over a little bit of nothing, like a little bit of nothing. Really, you could have just jacked that nigga and kept it moving, man. But that's what I say, man. That's why I really don't fuck around, dog. Like, I don't care if it's a little something or something, man. Motherfuckers will do you for nothing, man. And that's the whole ass shit about it. You know, that's the whole ass. I keep Tyrone band forever. Hell yeah. And that's the whole ass shit about. All right, AB, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. And that's why you can't put nothing past nobody, man. I remember a motherfucker stabbed, almost killed a motherfucker for $6 just because he was out there, like, on some dumb shit. Man. Yeah, matter of fact, I remember I had bought some plates and stuff for them. I remember from them out there in Baytown. Jarvis and the other guy, like I say, my homegirl, she was kind of pushing that thing real big. I had ended up doing some flyers and stuff for them. So I remember that shit. But yeah, dumb shit though. Dumb shit. That was on some dumb shit. I forgot about that shit. Yeah, he got killed for stepping on someone's shoe in the club. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Over some dumb shit. But again, this is when I talk about fucking with niggas and probably that's why I just be cooling, man. when a motherfucker don't really value themselves, or when we talk about how crazy Kanye was when he talked about we'll value the brand over land when you don't own shit, and a motherfucker will want to murk you over some shoes. It's not about respect. It's about a fucking shoe, nigga. You can try to play that shit as respect or whatever else it is, but we value a brand over land, shit, over another man. Fucking really, we just be like, hey man, you move the fuck around. But motherfuckers, how many motherfuckers? That won't be the first. Motherfuckers got shot, killed over some goddamn shoes. They got killed over some Jordans. I remember some niggas who killed that little nigga over some Jordans. It was 3 niggas over one pair of Jordans. Killed like, what the fuck y'all sharing these hoes? Like, but y'all got days or something? You know what I mean? Like, so when one of y'all niggas creased them hoes, y'all gonna kill the other nigga for creasing them? Like, it's just like, come on, man. The shit is stupid, and this is why I say I had to motherfuckers say what you want to, but it's a lot of ignorant behaviors that we have, and we celebrate and we push forward and promote. I just can't get with, man. That's why I don't really be fucking around, dog. That's why I really don't be fucking around. I just be cooling, man. Like, because motherfuckers are senseless, motherfuckers are ignorant, you know, and it's some wild ass shit. It really is some wild ass shit. So. That's terrible, man. Oh, yeah. I had a cousin get fucked up pretty bad over a fucking starter jacket. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why he ended up becoming a correctional officer, I wonder. But, you know, it's a wild world, and that's what I'm saying. We value, and that's why motherfuckers, you can't sell me this shit, you know. And again, everybody does to everybody, all that other good shit. But a starter jacket, like, and I'm not justified. I understand clipping somebody for something that could be of perceived values of, we talking some money, but a fucking starter jacket, when the bitch used to run about $100, maybe a couple $100, if depending on where you're getting it or where you got it. It's like I can't rock with all that, man. That's why I say, man, I look at shit the way I do, and that's why I say, man, we gotta adjust on some of the behaviors, because we can't continue promoting certain shit and then complaining about other shit. But when we fucking ourselves off first and foremost, and when you hold yourself, like, here's the thing, you give the world a blueprint on how to treat you, and that's from a personal standpoint. Okay, so if I treat myself like shit, and you see, this nigga don't even care about himself, I'm gonna treat that motherfucker like shit too. You know, if a motherfucker, think about a kid in school, if somebody clowning on them or talking about them, they don't ever stand up for themselves. You know, other people start doing the same thing, and then it just becomes what it is. Oh, nigga, you know, that's just what it is. That's how it is. You from Gary, Indiana? Homer, what's his name? I can't even think of his name now. The nigga that be rapping, he actually be jamming. Freddie Gibbs? No, okay. And Mike Epps and shit. But, you know, and so people will treat you that way. But if we as a culture treat each other like shit and don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. That's the first thing we say, nigga, I don't give a fuck, nigga. You know? And who else is supposed to give a fuck? And that's all I'm trying to say. It's not that I hate what we got going. It's not that I hate my people. It's just that, man, we got to look at shit a different way if we want different outcomes and expectations. But when we continue to embrace the most negative aspects of shit, and then want a different result, expect other people to treat us a certain way, but we treat ourselves like shit. We don't even put ourselves truly in a position that we should want to put ourselves. And you got to expect what's going to happen, man. It is what it is. Oh, the brother used to get his shoe jacked. He start pop go to Sochi Brothers for $25, bullets included. Yeah, that'll definitely stop the program. Yeah, when you steal something, and that's what I'm saying. Yeah, look, I stole these J's, you know. But motherfuckers thinking you bought some shit you ain't buy. Motherfucker got blood stains on them, the jackets and shit. Like, and the thing about it is, like, most of these motherfuckers steal this shit in a group of niggas. So, like, who get to keep the shit? You know? And that's the shit that bothers me. You know what I mean? When you talk about can't change the race of people, the Germans did it. Too soon? I'm gonna change the race. I'm gonna be the face of the change. But no, you can't change the race of people. You only got people who are with the shits and who aren't with the shits, and people who really want better and people who don't. And I mean, it is what it is. My thing is, I gotta hide them in plain sight. My thing is, man, I just wish the stigmas were different, because I don't really think it is like most people say it is. Is there a lot of it? Yeah, but that's what people highlight and focus on to prove a certain point. but I don't think it is like that, you know, or I know for a fact it isn't quite like that, but I think there's a lot of other small factors that play into it. And community shoes and jacket. And that's terrible shit. If that's the case, you might as well just let the nigga have his shit, man. You got to share that shit with everybody. Get 1 day a week. You know what I'm saying? You don't even own that shit. You might as well ask your partner to borrow some clothes. Goddamn. So you know, it is what it is. Yeah, and that's true. We definitely have to. We have to be responsible for ourselves, and it's unfortunate, very unfortunate. But here is the motherfucking deal. We got a couple of minutes because I know I got started about 6 minutes late. So as we get ready to start, I haven't played Anthem. I heard Anthem was terrible. I heard Anthem was very bad, and I've been hearing more and more people talk about how terrible it was. And that's why I say, man, I just kind of distance myself. I really do. Like I fuck with people who fuck with me. But at the same time, that's what I say, it's just a lot of environments, a lot of places I ain't fucking around no more. I ain't with the shits. I ain't with the shits no more, babe. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
It's me again.
Me again. What would you like to drop in the den? Me again.
I just wanted to ask you if you saw the post about the donut shop on Twitter.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It's not too far from me, so I didn't even know it was around Houston, but that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you some Sauce Sports merch and tell them, you know, to promote Sauce Sports now they got that newfound Twitter fame. To promote the sauce, and we'll blow up like his donut shop did.
Oh, and did you hear about the altercation between Russell Westbrook and a Utah Jazz fan?
No, that motherfucker. What? He was mad because he was more fashionable than him. I mean, what happened? What was the altercation?
The fan basically told him. The fan told him, "Get down on your knees." Some racist shit like that, and Westbrook went off on him and said, "I'll beat you up and your wife," or something like that.
No, I mean, if that's the case, you can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at that. Look, here's the thing. You know, it's a certain game that you play, but you know, there's certain lines you're not gonna cross. That's what kills me about fans, and I wish that. Well, since the Malice in the Palace, we all know what happened with that, but. There's certain shit like motherfuckers feel safe behind those barriers and that they can just run their fucking mouth. Hey, look, when a motherfucker get touched and they start crying, that's terrible. You tough until the motherfuckers, you know, you got that safe space. But then when the motherfucker put their hands on you, it's a wrap. Yeah. But, you know, I don't know. Just tell them fuck it. I got enough money to fuck your wife. How about that? You know, that's I can make your wife leave you right now and follow me into this locker room and put it on Pornhub. Fuck you. I'll build some shit like that, but I don't know. I did see the little Ibaka and Chris thing. That was more interesting, I think.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. Well, is that all you have, Mr. Edman?
I would like to address a rumor, but
I don't know. It might be time to hang up on you.
I know. Trust me, it's not bad, but I don't know why people think that I watch porn. That's not true.
No, that's very true. There's a reason you went to that donut shop. We all know. Have you gone to the donut shop and actually got donuts from there?
Well, I want to go maybe tomorrow. I want to see how much clout it still has.
Okay. Well, this is all I'm going to say about that. Go get you some donuts, post a picture. And I got to be careful with you, and I appreciate your call, so I'm hanging up on you now before you say something weird. All right. So, shout out to Ed, man. That'll be our call for the evening. But I want to say shout out to all of y'all. It's about that time. Yeah, fuck it. Everybody watches porn. I mean, it is what it is. You know, I don't care what anybody says. Some people watch food porn. Some people watch clothing porn. Some people watch human beings get naked and have sex. But that's a whole different thing. No, haven't seen Captain Marvel. Doesn't necessarily. It doesn't. I don't know. I'm just be honest. It doesn't look like something that would catch my interest. But every Marvel movie does it. But I don't know if it's not because it's fucking the chick. Everybody's trying to make it's a horrible movie because it's a woman. Like, I think that's fucking stupid. If it's a good action movie, it's a good movie. But like, the Thor movies aren't that interesting looking to me. So it's not just because it's Captain Marvel. So I mean, I don't care about shit like that. But my thing is the fact they're trying to force feed you a lot of this shit because they're, the whole Me Too movement. Again, whatever, they're putting out there on the screen, they get you normalized to it and used to it. Not saying that I don't want the little one to have, good role models and things like that. But of course, it's not going to be a fucking superhero. And so, representation is a thing, but when you're forcing it, let's come on now. Let's just stop the nonsense. So there's that. But with that being said, holy moly donut shop. That's funny. With that being said, I want to say thank you to all of you. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate all of the Denjamins that will go to the cause. Like I say, it's going to be great. Well, at least the vision in my head is great. And I hope the vision, well, I mean, it's not hope. The vision in my head, when it comes to fruition, it will be great. I appreciate y'all. Thank you all. And we'll be back at it tomorrow, 10 p.m. Central Time to midnight, every night. Plenty to talk about, plenty to discuss. Shout out to all the degenerates. Fucking A. Shout out to all the degenerates, the friends of the dens, the denizens, and of course, all my den folk out there. I thank you. I appreciate you. And y'all ain't got to go home. Y'all know how it goes. But it's that time, so y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. Man, Honcho, man, I'm out. Y'all still here? What y'all doing? The Denzels. Oh, man. Well, that's funny. All right. I'm going for real. This fucking hour. I lost my hour. I got to get